What's up, Facebook? This week is a quick one. We're not going to be going crazy here. We're not going to be presenting on slides or anything like that. What I want to talk to you about is how you're going to win this year. I want to talk to you about what maybe you've tried to do to win in the past and why maybe it hasn't worked or why you're not as far ahead as you want. You can see on the bottom, it's scrolling down and it says, join the revolution against dependency. And guys, I think there's truly a plague within the roofing industry. And it is building your business and building your success on outsourced efforts. I think that that's something that is incredibly common. It's something that a lot of people, a lot of businesses have tried to do. It's not specific to the roofing industry, but I do think the roofing industry does have this very common and relevant. You guys like the dog pooping in the background? Got a calendar. So join the revolution against dependency. Guys, winning doesn't look the same as it used to. It used to be a little easier. In the past, maybe door knocking was the truth, right? You could go knock doors and just had to be in the right area and you were going to be getting all the business you could ever want. And frankly, door knocking still works incredibly well. There's no doubting that. There's no denying that. Anyone who talks about how canvassing and door knocking isn't a strategy that is an efficient way to grow, they've honestly just been keeping themselves ignorant to something that is successfully growing a ton of roofing companies. What I will say, though, is it's harder to find good door knockers than it used to be. It's harder to find door knockers and keep them engaged than it used to be. Employment in general is more difficult than it used to be. I think it was happening before COVID, but COVID really cemented it in. People are okay with working somewhere for a few months and then moving to another place. And there's not much in their life that's telling them that that's not okay. They see their friends doing it. They see their peers doing it. I know some full-grown adults who have 10 years on me who are jumping around job from job from job. And it seems to just be okay with them. I know more people than ever that are working on little side hustles, but don't actually have a real job. Men, and I'm sorry if I'm a little old school here, but men who are there to support, who are wanting to be the person to support others in their lives, who are just sitting around. Oh, I like photography. I like this. I like that. But they're not actually working. They're not actually putting in the work and really doing what it takes to build something. They're just sitting around trying to play. It's getting hard, guys. As business owners, as a fellow business owner myself, it's getting hard. We need to figure out how we can win. If you look at Google ads, Facebook ads, and all of that, it's nowhere near a blue ocean anymore. In almost every major market, there's somebody spending 20, 30, 40, 50, sometimes even 100,000 a month on Google ads and on Facebook ads. That's your direct competition. In some situations, like in Dallas and Houston and some of the other Denver, some of the other major markets, there might be 5 or 10 people. There might be $1 million a month in ad spend being spent across 15 to 20 of your biggest competition. And then you're out there, and what makes sense for your business because you're getting started is maybe a $4,000 budget a month. I hate to say it, but it's an auction. That's going to make it much more difficult for you to capture enough business to start seeing the results that you really need to stand out and to begin growing at the rate you need to grow. And I'm not saying all this just to be dismal. I'm not saying this because you need to just give up or that things are hard and that they're not going to get better or anything like that. What I am going to say, it's scrolling across the screen. Stop being dependent. If you're not being dependent, great. Don't plan on it. Here's what I mean. The strongest companies I know in the roofing space right now, they are growing because they have internal processes to growth. You see a lot of companies that grow the most, right? Via door knocking. That's one of the most common ways the biggest companies out there are growing, or they go into storm areas and all that. I would argue that even running around chasing storms might not be the lifestyle most people go for, but even the ones that are just in local markets and taking over strategically. I think perimeter roofing, I would say in Atlanta, but they're in a million places now. Great example of a roofing company that hustles. Great example of a roofing company that puts in the work and that gets out there and gets it done. They get a lot of their business from door knocking. They do SEO. They have stuff coming in from all over. I would say that the reason that they're as good as they are is because they have internal systems and internal processes. One of my favorite roofing companies, MHI Roofing, John Bros, he's grown tremendously. In fact, he started Ugly Roofs, which if you haven't checked that out, I highly suggest it. It's a roof restoration. It's a way to make pretty much as much money on a repair as you would have on a re-roof for a third of the time and for the roofs that might not need a replacement. Very, very good service. But he uses systems. It's never going to be a Google ad that takes over for him or a Facebook ad that takes over for him. That's not how he's growing. He uses all of these as tools, but he uses those tools working on the machine that he's already built. He's not dependent on anybody. The point that I'm making is you need to create self-sufficiency within your business. You need to make sure that this year, everything you do is around sturdying your infrastructure, building your business, building your processes. And I'm not saying production processes or operational, or if this turns into this, so we sell the order this, and that's stuff that you definitely want and you definitely need. With that being said, what I'm saying is you need systems and processes for getting more jobs. How are you going to do that? It might not be canvassing a whole neighborhood or knocking a whole neighborhood anymore. It's harder and harder and harder to find those people that are willing to do that. I'm not saying you should give up, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do some canvassing and knocking. What I am saying is you're going to be using a lot of time that maybe you don't have by trying to find those people and train them up. What I am saying is you need to make sure that each time you have an opportunity, you know exactly how to maximize it. How are you going to maximize your opportunities? By turning one job into multiple. Referrals are king. They always have been. They always will be. With that being said, a lot of people say that they're a referral-based business. And I don't think they really understand what they're saying. A lot of the people that say, I'm a referral-based business, in reality, are doing a good enough job to get someone to talk about them or to tag them, get tagged in a post on the neighborhood group or what have you, which is good. But they don't actually have control over their business. If you see on the bottom, it says, join the revolution against dependency. Some of these people are dependent on getting the referral. That's not self-sufficient. But I do still think you need to be very focused on referrals. What you need to do is follow a process. Now, I believe that the process that I've outlined in my 4 Growth Engines PDF and that I talk about pretty much every week in some way or the other, I believe this is the most effective process that a roofing business can implement. I've been working for years in the roofing industry. I've been working with contractors that are 50 million all the way down to just getting started at a few $100,000. The roofing companies that are getting started or have had that 1 year of success, they have a little swagger. And then they think, okay, my next step is to start spending a bunch on ads or do this or do that. They're getting slapped in the face over and over again. And the reason is because they're working on building dependency. They literally are putting efforts and investing money into being dependent on someone else. They need to invest money, effort, and time into themselves and into their own process. Now, I'm not saying not to run Google ads. In fact, I think you should. I'm not saying not to run Facebook ads. In fact, I think it's very important to be present on social media. And I'm not saying not to do SEO or any of that, because you do need to do all that. I'm saying to create runway for yourself. I'm saying to create self-sufficiency and a lack of dependency on some of these longer term or additional strategies for growth. If you can create self-sufficiency, if you can get your business in a place where you have the growth, where you have everything that you need to get it where it needs to be, then you're going to win. If you have a process where every time a lead comes in, you know exactly how you are going to get in front of their neighbors. You know exactly how you're going to get more referrals from them. You know exactly how you're going to get the review from them. You know exactly how you're going to make sure that they're talking about you on social media, because you have a process around it and it's intentional rather than just a hope or an offhand comment. If you can put that into place, then you're going to win. The company spending $50,000 a month on ads, their economics are the same as yours would be from a micro perspective. They're probably going to get $150 cost per conversion or something like that. Probably about 60% of those are going to turn into appointment. So about $250 an appointment. Now, you have the ability to turn one appointment into multiple, one job into multiple. If you can do that, every single opportunity that you have, every single lead that comes in, you're putting them through a process to multiply them. Not, oh, I'm going to put $1 in and get $5 out of Google ads. That's not how it works anymore. I'm not saying that you won't get an ROI, but it's not going to be significant enough. I'm saying you need a process that gives you an ROI. One lead comes in, you bring them into your system, you advertise around their neighbors, you get the referrals, you get them to post about you on social media, you get the review, and you build up that way. You're in a neighborhood now. You're doing that multiple times in the same area. That compounds more than anything ever could compound online with Google ads or Facebook ads or anything like that alone. And that's only something you and your team can do. It's something that will make sure you win, because if you can turn one job into 2 or 3 jobs on a normal basis, one appointment into 3 or 4 appointments on a normal basis, think about what that $250 cost per appointment is now. Divided by 3, divided by 4. What if your cost per acquisition was $1,000? Now you're getting 3. Now it's $333. The company spending $50K on ads who has a $1,200 cost per acquisition because they're sloppy with it and they're used to all these leads coming in is slowly going to get overtaken by the company that can acquire customers for significantly less. You might be able to start affording to spend more and more on ads, and you're getting 4 times more of a return than your competition if you're doing the right thing. Join the revolution against dependency. I don't want you to need a Google ad to win. I don't want you to need a Facebook ad to win. I want you to rely on your own business, on your own systems. We were talking about employment a second ago, and I'm about to wrap it up. But if you bring your sales team into a very clear process that they're following, and this process is designed to get them more opportunities over and over and over again, and to build their own little pipeline over and over and over again, is it going to make sense for them to leave? Are people still going to leave? Maybe, but it's going to make less sense for them. They're going to be more successful more quickly. And the good thing is, if they do leave, you weren't even depending on them. They're just a body who hopefully is good with words and has that salesman bone. And now you can put someone else into the same system. And you can show, hey, it generally takes people only a month or two to start really making some good progress and money. Can you wait a month or two? We have a 90-day onboarding period where we're going to give you $1,500 or $2,000 a month salary. Then after that, it switches to full commission. Can you do that? Most people are closing deals within their first couple weeks. Yeah? Okay. So, guys and gals, I know this one's a little bit more direct. I need you to understand and know, going into this year, do not hire someone thinking they're going to be the path to your business growing. Do not hire someone thinking they're going to be the path to scaling. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and know that that person is the only person that is going to be able to be responsible for you taking your company to the next level. Systems that person, you looking in the mirror, is able to implement. Now, we can help. I have a consulting program. Like, we can put some of this stuff into place with you. We can guide you through it. We've done it multiple times. It's going to be a quicker path to this. And I do think everyone should join it. I'll go ahead and throw that down there. There's a link in the description. But whether you do or not, I need you to understand, you need to get your business built right. You need a real foundation, not a foundation of historically I sold this much. That's not a foundation. That can crash. You need a foundation of I sold this much because this is exactly what we do. I'm going to sell this much because this is exactly our plan on what we're going to do with every single opportunity that comes in. And once you have that, and once it's working, because right now, if you just implemented that, you could 2 or 3x the amount of leads that you're working. You could 2 or 3x the amount of jobs that you're closing almost immediately, overnight. This is faster than any platform ever, is effort. It wins every time. If you put that stuff into place, then you will be able to win. If you put that stuff into place, then you're going to be able to scale your business. If you put that stuff into place, you're going to be able to afford to compete with the people in your market that are spending tons of money. Why? Because you are making that money worth more. You can spend a quarter of the amount, 5%, 10% of the amount, and still be able to roll around like you're spending 4x what you're spending because you have processes and systems in place. That's how you win. That's how 2023 is going to be good. That's how 2022 would have been good too. But this is what you need to do. So many people want to hire the big fancy agency. So many people want to work with this person, work with that person, or if I just spend this money on ads, or if I just get this sexy new website or any of that. And it all is good. It's all relevant. But you need to be doing it for the right reasons. You need to understand what's what. If you want to go in and start competing right away, this is how you do it. So, shameless plug, join my program. If you are a roofing company, you want to grow, you want to scale, you want this to be the year that you stop wondering whether you're going to hit your goals, join my program. I'm going to help you become fully self-sufficient. It's called Built Right. Why? Because I'm going to make sure that you are built to succeed. I'm going to make sure that you have the processes in place to where you are able to go win. Not someone winning because your ads are working, but you're able to go win because you have the processes and systems within your business. This is how 2023 can be the best year. I got conviction. I know This is it. I know the right people. This will change their freaking lives. I don't say that about Google ads or SEO or Facebook ads. I think that we're among the best people at it. With that being said, our success rate is directly correlated to the people that we're advertising for, the people that we're doing this. I'm going to make sure that you are the absolute person that can grow and scale and win with whatever marketing strategy you implement once these foundational things are in place. Join it, sign up. There's a link. I still have a discount on there, even though I was supposed to turn it off, but I didn't. Click the link, join, get it done. 2023, Canon will be your year. See ya.